welcome to episode 31 of Understable Minds. After a brief momentary hiatus, last week we did not have an episode. That's my bad, guys. I was sick.
Oh, man.
Wasn't feeling well. But hey, look, we're alive.
Hey.
We're back here for episode 31.
Thanks to ibuprofen and steroids.
Right. Steroids, a little bit of Dayquil, a good concoction, a good mixture. Really how you're looking to spend
like
your
a cocktail.
Right, yeah. Just throw it all in a glass, put some ice, mix it up.
I like it.
Slam that thing back. I respect it. That's what zero doctors advise. But I'm alive. I made it through. My name's Anthony. That's Eric McCabe.
What's up?
Sitting over there in the just sickest shirt possible.
Man. You guys should have called me.
Yeah. For the audio people, AJ and I are wearing the same shirts. Also, audio people, don't you guys watch on YouTube?
Yeah, why don't you get a ticket and come watch in person?
You don't want to check us out?
Oh, we don't do that.
We don't have to do that. No. It's free to watch for anyone.
Yeah.
Once it's posted, you can watch from then to the end of YouTube. Oh, so probably eternity.
That would take a while.
Speaking
to watch all the videos on YouTube, I think that's impossible now.
It is. Yeah, there's more videos being uploaded to YouTube than there is time. Like they're being uploaded faster than you could possibly watch them. Wow. Content.
Yeah, that kind of makes me think of this.
No wonder our numbers are down.
Right.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
There's a whole lifetime of footage for people to watch besides us.
True. Yeah. And that's just the content that we're posting. Right. There's just that much. Danny is that hard at work behind the glass, making more videos than there are time to make the videos, but he finds a way. He finds a way.
That.
All right. There is a new release Thursday coming up the week of this posting, depending on when you are watching this. This may be happening today. Ooh. This may be happening tomorrow. This may have already happened.
Like 2 years ago.
This could be 2 years ago. For somebody out there, this could be 2 years ago.
Just think of how many aces you've gotten with the disc that hasn't even been released yet.
You could have gotten many aces with Fusion Orbit Felons from Ricky Wysocki.
Hands down the absolute best felon we've ever released.
Opto-X Explorers from Emerson Keith. Yeah. Opto-X Glimmer Fuse from multi-time player of the week winner Johnny McRae.
Oh,
I'm really enjoying this hands-on experience. Now.
You'd probably have, what did we say, 2 years in the future?
Yeah, 2 years.
I would guess you'd probably have 2 aces with your VIP X sword from Erica Stinchko.
S-word.
The S-word. You'd probably make a few thousand. That's the sword, by the way.
Wow.
A bit of dome on those things.
That was a loud heartbeat.
You could make many birdie putts with your Royal Sense Burst Faith from the one and only Connor O'Reilly. Also, there are Revive warships. Revive is a renaming, rebranding of the recycled plastic. The warship obviously is a fan favorite. Many people throw those. That's once again
Erica's
sword.
This is my heartbeat, slightly irregular.
And then there's also these super cool mini skull stamps. It looks cool on the front just because it's like a mini stamp.
Skull.
But then on the back,
mini skulls.
Many
it's
skulls.
A graveyard on the back.
It's a whole, there we go. It's the whole cemetery on the back.
Yeah.
These are available in Prime Moonshine Culprits, Classic Blended Judges. That is, I believe, the Zero Medium Mercy.
You are correct,
and
sir.
There are also Zero Medium Moonshine Pures.
I definitely have a culprit with this stamp.
Really?
It's good.
I have been loving my culprit.
They're good.
Culprit's nice.
They really good.
Very cool.
Once again, sure I saw the few shelves of these. So there are many medium.
I don't know if it was just that though. I think they're all white, but there are many discs.
Judges.
Yeah. It's you said there are Zero Medium.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Mercies. So I said like, hey folks, there's numerous actually.
There are many. More than zero.
And I just made a little commercial, a little ad for these mini skulls, but it was like no talking. It was just like, ooh, cool camera angle and graphics. And I was thinking of just make like a really, really short scene for this. And it was just going to be someone that's like, a skull. Oh, that's so scary. Oh yeah. Flip it over. Oh my gosh. So many skulls. Oh, wow. That's even scarier.
I thought for sure you were going to say that you made an ad and there was no talking and just cool camera angles. And then we should try that for the podcast.
And that was it.
Hey, so next week we're going to have an hour of no talking.
Yes.
Just really
But
cool
the
Sign
camera
language.
angles.
Camera angles are going to be nuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. That sounds like an episode of Community.
Ooh, it does.
Do you ever watch that
I
show?
have seen it. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the last couple seasons, they went real experimental
Okay.
and like a grab bag of
Yes.
experimental stuff.
Yep.
So it's like it's a sitcom,
Mhm.
and then they did like a 2 or 3 episodes that were like super intense, like an action movie. I think they did one that was like stop motion. Anyways, but they just kind of
Just throw everything at the
Much
wall.
like the Zero Mercies. So
There you go.
full circle.
Yes. Yeah. Bringing it back around.
this is a full circle.
Yeah. So
All
those
right.
are, if you are listening to this before 11 a.m. on July 7th, be sure to check dynamicdiscs.com at 11 a.m.
2022.
2022. Thank you. Yes. To the person in 2024, congratulations on your aces, birdie putts, all that stuff. If
Good
you're
job,
listening
Rich.
to this
Attaboy, Rich.
after July 7th, then these have already been released. Head to dynamicdiscs.com, pick them up there, pick them up at your local retailer, anything like that. But Eric,
Yes,
you've got some exciting news for us this week,
I do.
apparently.
I have a new job.
You're leaving us?
So see you guys.
Dang it.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
joining an Overstable Minds
Okay.
podcast.
Once he
Oh,
takes his
how
headphones off, we
dare
can,
you.
we can applaud.
Get him out! Get him
No, I'm not going anywhere. You guys know that. I got a call from Doug about a week ago, and he had
About a
been
week ago.
coordinating with Emporia State University
Okay.
about their disc golf team. So up until now, they've kind of only had a disc golf club
Mhm.
where it was just like they did all their fundraising in-house. They did all of that. You know, it wasn't like recognized by the collegiate sports there at ESU.
Sure.
Well, what's Emporia have? Really good disc golf, right? Like we know what we're doing here when it comes to running events and putting courses in the ground and et cetera, et cetera. So they wanted to put disc golf on the map on the collegiate level at ESU.
Okay.
So they put together kind of a team. I mean, they haven't put together the team yet because that's kind of where I come in. But I have accepted the position of head coach of the
Hey.
collegiate disc golf team at
That's
Emporia State
cool.
University. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't know too many details just yet.
Uh-huh.
Although I do know tomorrow I'll find out a lot more of that. But I do get to recruit players. There'll be scholarships.
Hit me up, dude.
I'll hit
I'm
you up,
pretty
dude.
good.
Oh, for sure, dog. You want to go to college?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm college age too.
It doesn't matter, man.
I
You got
haven't used my
eligibility
eligibility.
left. That's all that matters, man. I didn't go to college just because of this day.
Oh, sure. You were just waiting.
I was waiting. I was waiting for, to be able to go play at that
but you're the
collegiate level.
coach.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm coach. So
Does that
either way.
rule you ineligible if you're the coach, or can you, like how TDs can play their events? Can the coach also be on the team?
There was a movie that a coach put himself in the game. I can't remember which one it was.
Didn't
Longest
end
Yard,
well.
maybe, I think, put himself in at the very end to play the game. So I'm
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
I think my professional status kind of excludes that,
I feel like since you're the coach, though.
but that was years ago.
Yeah.
So,
Doesn't that fall off after I don't know when the last time you took cash was,
or
but
played a tournament.
however that long ago. Yeah.
I'm kind of retired from competitive disc golf, so I don't have no interest in playing, but I do have a lot of interest in finding the next best talent. So recruiting is going to be a whole lot of fun. Junior Worlds is obviously a great event for that. Amateur Worlds is another one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be very challenging in the regard of these players. They're obviously younger and getting better and better. And look at like Gannon Burr comes to mind. He's young, right? He could go to college and play at the collegiate level, but why do that when you can go straight to pro? So
Right.
finding that talent that's kind of, regional top pro, but not quite good enough yet to maybe tour full time. That's kind of the market I think we're looking for. And who knows? We're planning to go out to a bunch of events and hopefully go out to the Collegiate Disc Golf Championships, the national championships.
Mhm.
And
Oh yeah.
who knows? Maybe bring a championship back here. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
That would be
Yeah.
great. Yeah. And I know that that would be a story
For
for
sure.
sure.
For sure.
And I think that's kind of what the university's after if they're
Yeah.
trying to reel in a big name as their first head coach.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Right.
they
I'm
want,
stoked.
They want results.
They do.
They want a ring.
Right. Super cool. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. I'm going to put it in my contract that I get like a $20 million bonus if I bring,
Sure.
Yeah.
Every time the team wins, then whatever the school's funding is for that year, just
Totally kidding.
half. of
Not
that.
doing that at all. I'm just excited to be a part of it. So
Right. Yeah. It sounds like it'll be really fun for you. It sounds like it'll be exciting for you and ESU as a whole.
Yeah.
We kind of look forward to some updates as we get more information as you get more information.
yes, I will
and can
I
share
will
that with us.
Relay it to all of you.
I think it'll be really interesting for the sport as well, because it's just a new fold in this new chapter of disc golf.
Sure.
I mean, just what you're talking about, like the skill levels that you're looking for in your recruits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, it's a lot to think about and to talk about, and then you can go down whatever rabbit holes, like, because it's a bit like traditional golf. They have college programs that are
Huge.
huge.
Very
yeah.
huge.
And
Yep.
very, and
It's
have
just
a-
exciting to see a college step up and recognize disc golf on the collegiate level and have a budget for it
Yeah.
Yeah.
and those kind of things. So that's what I'm most excited about.
Very cool. Speaking of exciting, there were some very exciting moments this past weekend. Wow. At
You're
the
you're
U.S.
telling me.
Women's.
Oh, out in Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking. I mean, I saw the fireworks show
Just in
out
general?
down. Yeah.
Ah,
Yes.
There's just a lot of excitement in the air.
I saw a video
literally.
of this lady. She was like, I don't know, 94, 95. Like she was mid 90s. And her, I assume, grandson handed her a Roman candle. And every time it went off, it scared her. Like it was the first time.
Oh my
And so she's just sitting there holding it. Whoa, whoa, Very funny. If I find it again. Oh, yes.
Yes. That was her.
I'll send it to you guys. She was surprised every single
I have
time.
another firework video I'll send to you later. So, but we can get on with the
right.
other exciting.
The fireworks on the course.
Yes.
Notably, Haley King taking down the FPO division
Her first major.
was
Her first major.
really the
Yep.
Pro Tour.
Yeah.
I guess it's a Pro Tour. Yeah.
It was the Pro Tour finale. It wasn't a major.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
So congratulations to her on that.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting
She
that
was
she
very
won.
emotional at the end, which is awesome to see.
Mhm.
Like it just shows you how much she really wanted it. And
Well, and she took some time off from touring. She played, I think, OTB. End of May was her last event, and then she played the Preserve and did not play to Haley King standards. I think she finished in 25th.
correct.
And then to come back from a month off, a pretty lackluster performance relative to her standards,
Mhm.
and then coming out and winning is
Get that W.
gotta feel good.
Yeah. 100%. Did you guys watch coverage?
I was out camping this weekend, so I was not able to watch it, but I did see scores.
Oh, right.
And I
like
saw-
U-Disc.
Yeah.
Right. I was kind of keeping up with that a little bit, and I saw Haley's round. It was 4 rounds, right?
Correct.
Mhm.
Haley's round 3 was like 10:06,
Mm-hmm.
and then Val's round 4 was like 10:06,
Yes.
and she had a string of 7 birdies, which I think I saw someone tweet this. I don't know. I didn't fact check it because that would take a lot of time, but they said that it was the longest streak of birdies in MPO or FPO this season. I don't know when. I don't know how far
Elite,
back.
Elite
Yeah.
series and above. I
Right.
believe.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. I don't know how far back you would have to go for someone to get 8 in a row, but that's a lot of birdies in a row.
That is a lot of birdies. in a
Yeah,
row.
she made it interesting.
She did, and
Yeah.
that there's just that one hole. I'm sure if she can go back and play it again, is the approach on. I don't know what hole it was, 11, 12, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 10.
10,
wasn't
was
it?
it 10?
Yeah, because we had been talking because we saw her 7 birdies in the row
Oh, that's
in a
right.
row, and
Yeah.
then Giovanni, one of our media guys, social media guy, was like, "Should we post something about this? Should we?"
Or will it jinx her, as what I think he said?
Yeah.
And then she bogeyed, and I'm like, no, shut up.
Is there any way to unsend someone else's message?
Can you delete that?
Yeah,
But then she followed it up with a birdie and still made it interesting at the end. I think she ended up losing by one.
One back,
Is
yeah.
that right?
One, yeah.
And she hit that sick putt on 18, like that 60-foot
Oh,
birdie.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that jumper. When
Yeah.
her putt is on, forget it.
It's unbelievable. I remember last time we talked to her was after Portland or after Beaver State.
Beaver State.
I remember so many times watching that. It's like, all right, Val, just lay it up.
Yeah.
Jam from
Nope.
like 45.
Nope.
Dude, what?
Yeah, she's so good.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the discs are working very, very well with her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that putting is what did it. That's what people were
That's what
saying.
that course was all about. It was
Yeah,
all
those
like
two
every
courses,
hole
yeah.
was birdieable. I think at least at Token Creek, I think somebody said maybe it was first round or second round. Every single hole was birdied by somebody.
Right.
So, and that doesn't always happen. And
no,
it was definitely a putter's dream. If you were on top of your putting, you were in contention to win that. Look at Owen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Owen Scoggins. She was in contention the entire time.
I think she led the field. I'll look it up right now, but I think she led the field in strokes gained putting.
Mm-hmm. I
She
believe
was
it.
second. Maria Oliva was first at 15.05. Owen was second at 13.5.
I remember looking after Friday's round, or maybe before Saturday's round, and during that like halfway point in the tournament, and I remember looking at 1 and 2. I think was Maria and Owen, and they were and I think Maria had one stroke advantage on Owen, and they were 1 and 2 in putts.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. Or actually, no, I think they were 1 and 2 in birdies, but Maria had one less missed circle 1 putt than Owen, but Owen had one more circle 2 make.
Circle 2 make.
Yeah, but they were at the top of the putting stats and close to the top of the greens and regulation stats as well.
Yeah.
But it was definitely decided on the putting green like a lot of people thought it was going to be.
Yes, 100%.
Again, we saw Evelina, the rise and fall of Evelina just in this one microcosm of the whole season. You know, she was.
You can 100% tell though that she's ironed out some of those issues with the putting.
It's definitely
good way to put
gotten
it.
better.
She looked a lot more confident on those 15 to 20 footers.
Right.
And that was very, I don't know, rewarding almost to see, you know, a player that was struggling that hard to come back and perform.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She led the field with 25 and a half strokes gained tee to green, which the winner, Haley King, was 7 strokes behind that, 18 and a half strokes gained tee to green. But like you had said, Haley shot, it was 11 strokes gained putting, where Evelina gave up almost 4. She was at 3.9.
It's crazy.
Yeah. If you look at it, 20 missed circle 1X putts from Evelina. 20.
And she lost by 7.
Yeah.
If she makes half of those, she wins the tournament by 3.
So, and like Eric said, it is rewarding. It's nice to, I think at this point it's nice to see it. I mean, we enjoy watching the disc go in the basket more. And so I think at this point, just from the beginning of this season, the fans, most of us we've grown closer to Evelina through those struggles that she's had. We've felt for her. And we've all recognized that, she's got the best drives in
my gosh, she smashed
in the game.
discs.
And not even smashes. The shots look more like she has more control.
Yep. She threw the absolute best forehand shot I have ever seen by anybody, male or female, in my life. I saw it in person at Schleftia. It was a playoff against, I want to say Katrina at the, I think it was Scandinavian Open. It was like hole 5 or something like that. And Katrina had already thrown out of bounds. Evelina was laying 1, I think, throwing 2 on this crazy par 4. And Evelina stepped up and I looked at her line. I was standing behind her. I remember Robert McCall and I were there and I was standing behind her looking at the line. I'm like, she's just going to pitch up a little backhand or maybe a little touch forehand around the corner and then have an 80-foot jumper for birdie or for par, right?
Yeah.
And no, she laces this ridiculous line on a flex forehand that was just mind-blowing. Skips up to about 3 feet, drop in, W.
Easy.
Oh my God.
Walk it off.
Best forehand I've ever seen in my life.
Jeez.
It was awesome to see. That will be forever imprinted on my brain, seeing that shot. It was crazy.
That's cool. Wild. So what do you think, really quick, before we move on to our next topic? I'm looking at her stats, and round 1, she missed 1 circle, 1 putt. Round 2, she missed 1 circle, 1 putt. Round 3, she missed 4 circle, 1 putts. And then round 4, she missed, I think my math is right, 14.
14 circle 1 putts she missed?
Yes. Do you guys think that comes from fatigue or maybe nerves of it being the final round?
Maybe nerves. Maybe it was 2 different courses. So the first 2 days they played one course. Second day they played a different course.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if weather was a factor potentially. I mean, there's a lot of variables that could go into that.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, I think it's. I would think it's a little bit more nerves in the context of the situation.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like, and that's what it looks like when you watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those, and then when you think about it a little bit deeper, those first 2 rounds, after the second round, you have as much golf left in the event than you've already played. So I think that kind of makes it feel like, okay, this first round or the first half is there's, anybody can mess up, and it's like, there's more room for that error.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think then you free yourself from those errors, from those failures, and there's less pressure to execute. So then it just becomes easier to execute. Mm-hmm. And I think when it comes to putting, I think that's just what Evelina needs. And that's what a lot of people need, is they just need to feel like this is easy, and they need to feel like I can make this putt, miss this putt, and I'll walk away the same regardless.
Right.
And so it's so like counterintuitive to carry that mentality into the second half of an event like that, because there's just a undeniable urgency about the third and fourth rounds of a major event.
Yeah.
People don't really.
It's a big deal. Winning a major is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's so much bigger than winning just an Elite Series event.
Right. So it's like that urgency, that's just urgency that's cranked up.
Yeah.
And so
correct. Yeah,
I think, if we can analyze or make any other observations about who succeeded and who failed during those times, it just kind of goes to show that Haley is that cool cucumber, and Evelina.
Is that her new nickname?
It might be.
I don't think she'll take that.
Cool cucumber.
I think, what is it? Hailstorm?
Hailstorm.
I think that sounds a little bit better.
Hail's cold.
Hail's there we go. That's what it is.
Cool. I already forgot. Cucumber.
Yeah.
Cool cucumber king.
All right. Let's move on to the future.
Good job, Haley.
This coming weekend. Yes. Good job, Haley. Yes. I think Jennifer Allen won FP40.
She did by a lot. By 10, I think.
And
also good job, Mariah. Best finish in a major.
Yeah.
Yep. I forget the other names.
Everybody else.
Congratulations to everybody that won.
Everybody else just keep playing.
Right. We'll move on to the future, where this coming weekend we have the LWS Open at Idlewild. I am excited.
I'm not.
Oh,
I am.
Why is that?
Because I'm not there to watch it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
Well, you're here to make a prediction.
I'm here
about who we think is going to place better between.
I know. I struggled with one of these.
2 chosen competitors. First up, we've got Paul Macbeth, 5-time world champion, versus defending champion Kyle Klein. Let's see who we all went with.
I don't even remember who I picked. Okay. I did go
Paul. Okay.
I did go Paul.
So you both.
I went back and forth on Paul and Kyle. Just Kyle obviously won last year. He had a hot round at, was it Preserve? Was it the preserve that he played well at, and he was in contention the entire week, and
This sounds right.
finally came out and performed the way we all know that he can.
Right.
I picked Paul because I think Paul has a chip on his shoulder right now and needs to perform, and
Right.
that's a scary Paul.
Yes. And so I didn't pick Paul because I think he has a literal chip on his shoulder. For whatever reason.
Like a Dorito?
Yeah, or like a Lay's,
Ruffle.
maybe.
They
It's
got
probably
ridges.
Ruffles. Hey, I'm a fan.
So he's like timid. He's trying to he's trying to balance it on his shoulder while he's throwing.
I wouldn't say that he's timid, but he's just not Paul Macbeth this year, right?
he's not.
Everybody was saying that after the Ricky contract details came out that they're both making the same amount of money every year. Paul's going to come out, but he's going to have a fire lit underneath him. He's going to win everything. He's not going to let anybody, and he just hasn't.
Sure.
Right? Like he's having a year that anyone outside of Paul and Ricky and maybe Calvin and Dickerson and a handful of people would be extremely proud of. But he's Paul Macbeth, and he's not having a year that Paul Macbeth would be proud of. Kyle probably isn't having a year relative to last year, at least that Kyle would be proud of. But
this is about time of year last year when Kyle started to come out of his shell, so to speak.
Yeah.
He won this event. He went to a playoff at D-Glow. Or not, no, he lost in the last hole is what it was.
Yes.
At D-Glow, and then lost in a playoff at USWDGC. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think
spoilers.
I picked Kyle here. I think that I don't know. I think, like you said, I think this will be his time of year. I think coming back to defend his turf will be a good thing for him.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got a couple people rocking the same shirt as AJ and I.
Oh,
definitely not Eric's shirt. We've got Mason Ford versus Chris Clemens.
Hey.
Oh, we all took Clemens. Wow. I did not expect everyone to do that.
This is another one that I struggled with because they've both had an okay year, I'd say. I think if you ask each one of them, I think Clemens would say he's somewhat happy with his season. I think he wants to do better, obviously.
Right.
And then I think Mason is the other side of things where I think he would tell you,
absolutely pissed.
I'm not having a great year. I don't think he would say it like that, but
he would. I would. I'll challenge you.
I'm disappointed.
Good gravy. I'm disappointed. Table flip.
Oh, good. Yeet.
This is some good gravy.
And Clemens is just, he's got the forehand, and his forehand is so good. And Idlewild, those woods, like you almost need that. You can kind of see the fairway a little bit better on your forehand. And I always thought if you have a good forehand, use it in the woods. And Clemens has had a heck of a year. He's playing really well. So that's why I went with Clemens.
It's pretty solid. Solid. And he took last week off of throwing, at least. I think he was
he just caddied for Hannah.
Yeah. So Mason kind of did the same thing. So slightly level playing field there.
He did.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, and I looked it up. They're having similar seasons. Chris has more top 10 finishes, whereas I bet Mason has more top teen finishes.
Okay.
Right. So Chris is kind of more on polar ends of the spectrum.
Head-to-head events, or is that just in general?
Just in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think Clemens has probably played.
Clemens has played a couple more events.
Yeah.
Not a ton, maybe 4.
Sure.
Maybe 3 or 4 events. And I think that's how many top 10s he has. I think he's at 3 right
Perfect.
now. Yeah. So.
And they're both right around that like mid 20s in the rankings, I think.
I didn't look that up.
World rankings, I think they're
close.
20-ish.
Let's see. Mason is 17th. And if you give me just one moment, we'll look up Chris. Watch him be 16. Oh my, he literally is 16th.
Is he really? Oh, that's funny.
He's literally 16th. Mason is 17th.
That's
and
hilarious.
Then, they're 1 rating point apart. So
that's a good head-to-head there.
Yeah. Very similar years, very similar players. We'll move on to 2 other very similar players. Maybe not quite similar years, but our third and final prediction. We've got Valerie Mandujano versus Missy Gannon.
That's no surprise.
That I thought. So we all, for the audio people, we all took Val. I think if we're just going in head to head for this year, I think probably everyone would say that Val's having the better year. Mm-hmm. Both of them are having good years, and Missy has beaten Val at a couple of events, but Val's finished outside the top 10 twice.
Yeah,
all year,
and has
multiple wins.
2 wins on the Elite Series and 1 on the Silver Series. At least 1.
Right. Yeah, she's coming off of what, 2 wins in her last 3 events.
It's not too
Something
bad.
like that.
It's not too bad.
It's pretty good,
Maybe
It's pretty good.
especially when her 3rd event was a 2nd place by 1 stroke.
At a major.
Darn. Yeah, at a major. So there we go, audio people. We all took Chris and Valerie, and then for round 1, I took Kyle. You both took Paul Macbeth. Danny looked up the stats for us, and currently I'm at 60%, AJ's at 60%, Eric is at 60%, Danny is at 40%, and the audience is beating all of us at 75%.
Cool.
Oh wow.
So majority rules in this case, but we will we'll be making
We'll
up
see
ground.
you next week.
We'll be making up ground on them. Yes. All right, let's go to something that if you guys remember at the beginning of the year, we made some predictions for the season. So we're going to kind of touch base. We're a little bit more than halfway through the season. We're going to quickly touch base on those, see how our predictions are looking. Have some of them come true? Have they been proven wrong already? All right. So do we want to go in the order that I have them written down? I have mine, Danny's, AJ's, Eric's, or do we want to go one from each of us and kind of spiral? So go me, Danny, AJ, Eric, me, Danny, AJ,
Sure.
Eric. All right.
Yeah, I like that.
My first prediction was that Macbeth will not win in Emporia this year. So far, I'm 1 for 1. There is another event that he's won a few times coming up next month.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to talk him into playing one of the Flex Start C tiers just to face you.
look, Paul, whatever the entry fee is, man,
Dude, I got it
it
covered. I'll double it.
caddy for you. Yeah, anything you need dinner is on me.
You gotta
That'd be
you
hilarious.
better keep that under wraps though.
Yeah.
Because imagine that. Imagine a chance for anybody to
Yeah.
take on
beat
Paul
Macbeth?
Macbeth at Hammond Park.
Are we doing C tiers and stuff?
We are.
Awards? Okay.
We are.
Dang it. I was hoping we weren't going to.
We absolutely are.
So we
darn.
Yeah, so we ought to make that happen.
Yes.
All right.
We should.
So mine.
See if we can talk the top 10
Let's do
into
it. Let's do
signing
it.
up for
Let's do
a
it.
flex start at
Yeah.
Hammond.
All right. So that one is up in the air. Danny's first prediction: Scott Stokely will have no more than one top 10 finish in MPO. Was this just at like Elite Series? Do you remember,
No
Danny?
more than one? Ouch.
Or does anyone remember?
I believe it was just at Elite Series. Yes, sorry.
That's
Just Elite Series. Okay.
and Scott's currently sitting at 0.
Okay.
So Danny is
He's on pace.
looking good for that one. AJ's first one, we'll just go ahead and cross this out now. Eagle gets his first win of the season in Oregon. I don't
Oh,
think
shoot.
I don't think Eagle played either of the
I mean, it could still happen,
dang
right?
it.
He could go play a B tier in Oregon.
I guess that's fair. If there's flex start C tiers in Oregon, he could, in theory, go up and win those.
Darn.
But what if he doesn't get a win this year?
That'll be
His prediction was his first win of the season.
Okay.
So then his first win of the season did not happen in Oregon.
Okay,
'cause
good
it
call.
Didn't happen.
Good call.
Eric, your first prediction. There will be 2 new first-time Elite Series winners on MPO.
Yeah, it was so close to the very first event with Gannon.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't happen.
Have we had...
I don't think we've had that I can think of off the top of my head.
And it's just Elites, so Silver Series don't
Silver
count.
Series do not count for that.
Macbeth won Waco.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it's...
Rick won
yeah, I don't-
Texas States.
Greg?
Rick.
No. Just kidding.
Greg designed the course.
I don't think we've had one. No, I
Who
don't.
won
I don't
Champions
think we've had.
Cup?
Chris
Chris
That's right.
Dickerson.
Urson.
Who? What?
What?
What'd you say?
Wait,
I said Chris Urson.
Ah,
what about Masters Cup? Oh, that was a
that's
Silver
the
Series.
Silver Series.
Silver
That was Gannon.
Series.
That was Gannon that won it.
Yeah.
And then OTB was who
Oh,
was?
Portland. Although, has Double G won before? Oh, Simon won that.
Simon won that though.
That's right. Double G won
Beaver State, which is an Elite,
which is a Silver Series.
Silver.
Yeah. Okay, so then, well,
so far it has not happened.
right. Joel Freeman, didn't he win
Hasn't won.
Vegas?
No,
Okay,
No, he won
so
the-
then
no, he won a
play.
Silver Series or a match play or something.
he won Match Play,
Right.
which is listed as an Elite Series.
Okay, that's one.
So then I guess, yeah, we're looking at 50% for Eric so far.
Let's go.
All right, my
That
second
helps me tremendously.
prediction was there will be more than 3 Elite Series wins by European players.
Ooh.
I think how many does
Simon's got 2.
I was going to say how many does Kristen have because I think that's already knocked off.
Yeah, really.
Danny's second. The winner of every Elite Series MPO event will finish higher in green and fairway and regulations than Circle 1 putting.
That's a lot to look up.
That's a lot to look up, which we will do, but that's going to just have to wait till the end of the season. We're just going to have to keep track.
Yeah. Right now, we're going to say he's not on pace.
Can you wait? Read that one again.
Just
That
to
was-
say
that
it.
was,
The winner of
interesting.
every Elite Series event in MPO will finish higher in greens and fairway and regulation percentage than Circle 1 putting.
Basically,
So,
he's saying you don't need to putt well to win.
Relative to where they finish in the field. They'll finish, say, second in greens and regulation, and they'll finish fourth in Circle 1 putting.
putting.
Oh, but I thought you just said percentage, but it's like the place.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
I meant
All right.
percent
Okay.
of the
Okay.
field, like they're in the 95th percent. Yeah, that was my fault. That was very poor wording on my end. AJ, your third or second prediction, which we can't get to yet, so I'll read it and then I'll go to your third. You said that Worlds will go to a playoff in MPO and FPO. MPO,
Wow.
you picked Paul versus Rick. FPO, you picked
Both. Can you
Haley versus
imagine?
Katrina. So
Imagine what?
That's
It's-
awesome.
Oh, but in both the MPO and FPO, there's a playoff. Yeah.
it's a bold prediction.
It is. I like it, though.
Yeah. Can you please highlight
That's what
it?
these were supposed to be, were bold predictions.
Correct. So AJ, we'll go to your third prediction.
Oh,
And that was that you will play in your 300th PDGA sanctioned event.
nice.
You started the year at 296. You are currently sitting at 297. So
You're playing one this
And I'm
weekend.
playing 298 this weekend.
there we go. So I'd say you're on track.
Yeah, I got to sign up for a few more.
Eric, your second prediction, FPO will see a first-time world champion this year. So
I
basically,
still believe that.
not Paige, not Katrina,
Not Des Redding.
not Des, not Sarah,
Holcomb.
Not
Val,
Holcomb.
not Paige Shue,
Yeah.
anybody else.
Yep. A new.
Your third one, I'll just go ahead and read it since it kind of goes hand in hand with that. You said that Ricky will win his third
Yes, I did.
world title on
I
the
did say
MPO
that.
side.
Let's go, Rick.
But again, we
Oh,
can't
boy, Rick.
quite update those. My third is not looking good.
Oh,
Oh,
I said that I'll play in 5 PDGA events and podium in at least one.
oh no. Have you played any?
I have not played a
Oh.
PDGA event yet this year. So we are
Sounds like we need to run some PDGA events.
we're going to be backloading the season for AJ and I, but we'll
there's
get
still
there.
time.
We'll get
4
there.
by 9 this weekend. There's still time.
Danny's third prediction is looking good. He said that Paige Pierce will not be the highest rated FPO player at the end of the year, and she is currently not the highest rated FPO player.
Correct.
So that honor goes to Kristen Tatar.
Yeah.
So we have none officially confirmed. We have one officially not possible.
Yes.
And then we
Yeah,
have
that's
a
a
few that
bummer.
are still up in the
And
air.
then
And
one
then,
that's halfway there.
yeah, some that are not quite on pace, AJ and myself.
Yeah.
I like how the two that are about us.
Yeah, right.
Are the
That's
two
the best part. That's the best part.
Oh, man. So we'll, AJ, you and I are going to have to hit up some events, and I'm going to have to play pretty well at least one of them to get that podium.
Yeah, we got some time.
We've got time.
It didn't say what division.
That's true. And I'm
Right.
technically eligible for at least intermediate. I probably am too high for rec.
Oof.
Dang it. Maybe I'll play one, tank the rating,
There you go.
get it to
There
rec,
it is.
go
There
in
you
and
go.
just clean house.
Clean. And then how bad would you feel if you go in and don't clean house?
So I'm finishing like third. Oh, man. All right.
Oops.
The Hand-Eye Classic. I think that might be my number 300 for me.
Is that where's it at? What course?
Jones.
Is it decided?
I think AJ just decided it.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
decided it for everybody.
Not TD.
I was
not-
really
See you
hoping that
there.
event was going to be out at Muni. That'd be sick.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I'd love
Those
to
courses
open that
are
course
usually
up.
in for 1 week out of the year.
1 week, and I've never played them.
Same.
Yeah.
I played the old ones when they were on
Yeah,
the other half
same.
of the course.
Yeah, the back nine.
I played that, but I haven't played the
They're fun courses too. It's
Hand-eye
good
and-
layout. Hand-eye and
Physics of
physics of
Flight?
flight,
Yeah.
I believe.
I've seen a couple holes of them, and that's it,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
All right, well, so maybe
I've painted OBs on them.
You jerk.
we will play out there. Who knows?
Hey, if Eric has anything to say,
I'd be down for
the ESU disc golf team will be practicing at the Muni.
That's
every
where
week.
we're going.
yeah.
That's where we're going.
Sorry, anyone trying to play golf.
Yes,
but
no.
excuse
Stop.
us.
We're important.
We have backing and funding from the school. So
Got that right.
if you could please just kind of step aside and
Part the ways.
right. These are college kids.
Move on.
And you're old. Excuse me. Just take your cart that way.
Your cart.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to this coming weekend. Again, we'll move back to the future.
Oh,
You get it?
Marty McFly.
Like the movies?
Let's.
Have you seen those?
Oh,
All right. We've got Idlewild coming up.
All right.
All right.
Moving on.
Moving on. Correct. This is correct.
Michael Scott. Go on.
Michael Scott, what, dude?
Never mind.
Okay. Idlewild is this weekend, the LWS Open at the course known as Idlewild.
Yes.
You guys have you played it, Eric?
Mm-mm.
You haven't?
No.
Ever?
No.
Oh.
Why? You hate it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. AJ,
Let's go make a trip.
Because it wasn't on the tour when I was on tour. That's why.
okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
AJ, talk to me about the course. Like what it's for people that have never seen or, the people that are new to the sport within the last year, what can we expect at Idlewild?
Airplanes.
Yes.
And trees.
Airplanes flying overhead,
Ooh.
frequently to infrequently. Below those airplanes,
Are people.
yeah, are people throwing
You'll be one of them.
discs towards baskets, and there's a lot of trees.
Yeah.
So it's mostly a wooded course.
Mm-hmm.
It does pop out of the trees from time to time. Maybe a third to a fourth of the course is out from under the canopy of trees.
Ooh.
And so that really makes for a pretty good mix of golf style. There's a decent amount of like elevation change. It's not a hike at all, like like the toboggan for D-Glow.
Yeah.
But it's not as flat as, say, the Preserve.
Mm-hmm.
That Black Bear course at the Preserve. So there are some ups and downs. It does make things pretty interesting. And then when the woods and those elevation changes mix together, you do get some like really cool shot shapes, some really technical angles that players have to hit. And then for the tournament layout, there's a lot of OB out there. So things do get pretty
dicey.
pretty dicey, pretty, I think they're before the airplane motif, their theme was like thorns and brambles. I remember the logo or the stamp design was Idlewild text with a bunch of like brambles on it. So yeah, it's in the woods.
Was it like a super death metal band logo where it's just like a bunch of vines and you can't read what it says, but it just looks like the rough?
It looks cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite that.
Dang.
Wasn't quite that
Okay,
intense.
cool.
They've cleaned things up a little bit.
Reined it in a little bit.
Yeah,
That's fair.
It's a tight course. It's like the majority of it is tight, and then there's a few open shots that kind of make you like look around and say, wait, where am I? What am I doing? And then you have to throw a big shot in and keep it inbounds. I really enjoyed it. It took me a little while at first when I first got there and played it for the first time. I want to say 2018, 17 or 18 was the first year it was on the tour. And I was not happy. I did not like the course.
Okay.
Except for like one hole. And I was just like thrown off because this was the number one rated and ranked course on UDisc. And then getting there to practice and play the event, it just really didn't seem like a number one ranked course. And so what I realized was like, this is a great recreational course. And at the time, that's what it was. It was really that. And now a few years later, it's kind of transformed into this really, really challenging tournament course.
Yeah.
So rather than just strictly like, hey, this is a fun course to get challenged on and play these fun shots with this cool creek that winds. There's a really like windy little creek that runs through a handful of holes. Now they've adapted the course and what the physicality of it into a really good, challenging, fair, tournament layout for an Elite Series event. And
it seems like the type of course that I would go and play and have a really fun time and then walk off the course like 20 over par because it's just like, oh, this is a really cool shot. Smack into a tree, smack into another tree, into the OB Creek. Like it looks so hard.
It has that.
So hard.
The AstroTurf greens out there on certain holes too, right? That are kind of built up islands. I like the amount of manpower and hours that have gone into that course is phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, the greens are what, whenever I think of Idlewild, that's what always pops into my head. Is like those, just the turf and the, what is it, like wood that's built up around them?
Wood or concrete? I don't know.
Is it?
I know is it not concrete?
There's like little
cylinders almost that they make concrete out of. And then, there's
like little concrete cylinders that I guess it's almost like if you were making a bunch of big cement or concrete donuts, there's all the donut holes that rather than just like a little sphere, it's a little cylinder. And so there's all these little concrete cylinders that they lined up on the banks of that little creek I mentioned. And so that is kind of how they have made the boundaries for these man-made greens. And I completely agree. Like the amount of work that's gone into the course has elevated it to championship level status. And I think that has been there, but what was missing was this eye for tournament layout and then just really just a course, a course needs a certain number of tournament rounds played on it for the tournament director to like
tweak.
To know what to tweak. And so I think that's kind of what we've seen over the past couple of years with this property is we've seen hundreds of tournament rounds played on it by a number of different players and play styles. And so there's been plenty of feedback and they've made things better. And so it's a bit different than what we've seen the first half of the season. From the first half of the season, there aren't the big wide open holes to play up to get it's not a par 4 and par 5 birdie fest. There are a few of holes out there like that, and
every course needs that though.
Yes, the majority of this course is in the woods, and it's tight. So I think we're going to be impressed by the players that we get to watch throughout the weekend because they're going to be hitting these really, really difficult lines.
Sure.
But I think the audience they'll get a fresh taste of how difficult elite level disc golf can be.
3 rounds, correct?
3 rounds.
Does it start Friday?
That sounds right. Yes. Yeah. So who do we think? We were talking earlier, Kyle Klein, defending champion in MPO, Paige Pierce, defending champion in FPO. Give me a couple of names that you guys think will be at or near the top when, come Sunday afternoon.
Dickerson, he's coming back.
He's coming back on tour.
When the tour goes out to the West Coast, he goes back to bed and
goes back to beating Zach.
Yeah. and man, I think that is a recipe for success.
Yes.
So I think, and Chris is just one of the most dialed, consistent players out there, not only off the tee, but on the green. And I think that's going to be, that's what a player is going to need is on Sunday, they're going to need to be just as consistent and accurate as they've ever been.
Crazy. I agree.
What about an FPO player? You think Haley? Coming off of her win at US Women's, she's pretty good in the woods.
She is, yeah. I think
she grew up in the woods.
That's a good point.
She lives in North Carolina now, where there's woods. So I think you'll see Haley up there. I think you're going to see the usual suspects in FPO. I wouldn't count Paige out ever.
Right.
Even if she had a pretty bad round per her standards at the US Women's, but that was also a different style of course.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's kind of crazy. I was thinking like there's not really a course that you could make. I always go back to what was it? The St. Jude's Invitational, like in 2014 or 2015 that I think UC ran, and
California.
He designed the course specifically. He said he was trying to Simon proof the course. Like there's not really a course where you could do that and page proof a course because
unless you make them all 300-foot holes, apparently.
Right, but then I feel like that doesn't.
I mean, that was just one event.
Right.
Yeah.
And to me, it's more so that you are just kind of elevating everyone else and giving everyone else the chance where her distance doesn't really come into play. And when you're throwing a distance that everybody can throw, all of the top FPO players are pretty similar in terms of accuracy and whatever, where, you would think that Paige, okay, she throws farther than everybody, so you put a course in the woods. Well, that's what this is, and she's the defending champion. Like, she can win anywhere.
She can win anywhere. For sure.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think obviously Paige has to be in contention. Val, Haley, I think as well.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder on the MPO side, I wonder if we'll see a Calvin reappearance up near the top, because didn't he win Jonesboro?
He did win Jonesboro.
And that's not exactly a wooded course, but
it's similar though.
Yeah.
Like similar feel, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder
not quite as wooded.
I wonder what we'll see out of
I picked up Albert Tom
Albert
for my fantasy team.
Who'd you drop?
Who did I drop?
Anybody I might be interested in?
I think I dropped Alden.
No, but he did.
Yeah.
He did drop.
We didn't get a chance to talk about this.
I dropped Bradley Williams
right before he won,
and then he picked him up and won.
Ouch.
The only reason it was a rough week for me out at the Preserve, just because my players I had 3 players that weren't playing that week, but all 3 players were players that you just don't drop.
Yeah.
You know, Chris Dickerson,
keep him.
Drew Gibson, and Joel Freeman.
Keep him.
Those are the 3 that have been performing this year. So you can't really just drop one of them to pick up somebody else who may perform. So,
right.
But hopefully Bradley does better for you than he did for me in the first part of the season, which he already has.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I got my first skip ace win.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, we should talk about this, because your boy sitting over here went 2-1 at the Preserve.
Oh dang!
Yeah, you got.
We don't need to talk about the rest of the results.
You got a second place.
Let's just talk about Portland and the Preserve. Combined 5-1 at those 2 events.
That's pretty good, man.
Everything else, I had one win on the rest of the season. But those 2 events, I got 5.
Impressive.
Pretty stoked on that, guys.
Pretty excited.
So then, what do you think? So Portland Open, do you think Simon and Garrett, we get to watch another Simon and Garrett bomb off, but this time in the woods? You think? You guys think that's gonna happen?
I think those 2 courses that Garrett played well in Portland, I think both of those set up well for his game. Personally, I don't know that Idlewild does that.
Yeah.
Quite as much, especially with, I mean, you got to have, like I said earlier when we're talking about Clemens, I feel like you got to have a good forehand to be in contention. Which is why I was never in contention, which is why I never went there.
That's why I never played. Yeah.
Totally not true.
Man, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think
seems like week by week it's this has been a pretty interesting year. We've seen the meteoric rise of Gannon Burr, and so we probably won't be surprised to see him in the top 10 a week from now.
Yeah.
Or Monday.
For sure.
So
yeah, Idlewild's gonna be great.
A lot of potential storylines there. I think one name that I was just thinking of on the FPO side was Henna Blomroos.
Oh.
She was making some moves last week in Madison. She didn't quite put it all together to get up to that lead card and up in that top 5.
Right.
But I think she had some potential, and she did have like a few streaks where she kind of snuck up in there. And so I think another player that throws the disc really well and really consistently, she's one of those. And
sure.
so
absolutely.
I think this could be a good course.
She pulled out of one event because of a back injury.
It was the Preserve.
Was it the Preserve? Okay. So hopefully that's all in the past for her.
All right. Moving on.
One other thing real quick about events this weekend, I did want to kind of mention that another event that is going on is the Toonie, which is another very, very large event that it was kind of modeled around the Glassbone Open. You know, they even have a hashtag Toonie moment, which is pretty cool. I watched the press conference today and players are really excited. They're doing big things over there, and you can actually watch that coverage if you have the access to the European network, whatever it's called.
Oh, okay. Is that what it's on? Nice.
It is. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to that. And the Toonie is an event that I remember going to and having a great time. So
yeah.
And Kristen's in attendance there.
Sweet.
There's a couple of the stateside players that
I saw
went
Nate
over.
Perkins is there.
Nate Perkins.
Thomas Gilbert, I believe,
In
is
the
there.
tourney, Nate is the
right.
only American
Is he?
playing the
Okay,
tourney.
cool.
Yeah.
Is he?
Nice.
Okay. Because I saw
Kinda
Kevin
interesting.
Jones is over there, but
Kevin
I don't think
Jones
he's
and
playing.
Thomas Gilbert are both over there already, but I
Yeah.
think they're just kind of there doing
Getting
some
ready for European Open, probably.
doing some prodigy stuff with Seppo and that kind of thing. So,
Okay.
but we can move on to pick 6.
Cool. Yep. Yeah, we've got a pick 6 coming up for. We can do Idlewild and the Toonie. Just Toonie, not the Toonie. Is it the Toonie?
No, it's just Toonie.
Okay, we can do it for.
Toonie is the. It's go on.
Okay, so we've got grip 6, pick 6 for Idlewild.
Group 6. Pick 6.
Yeah, that's hard to say. Come on, grip 6.
Pick grip 6 picks.
Yeah, let's make it something that's easier for me to say, please.
Pick
6 picks,
Yeah, there we go.
6 picks.
6
baby.
picks.
but they don't get their name in there. So,
Ah, dang it. That's right. Grip 6, pick 6. Barely works. I should just.
how about
work on
just grip picks?
Quick.
it. grip 6? I'll just call it that.
Okay, that's what we're
Just
going to call it from now on.
Everything grip 6. All right, so we've got.
All right, we got it. Let's
6
do
picks,
this.
obviously.
So we've got the grip 6.
Oh, what up, Rick?
Oh, what up?
Throwing Rick
Grip.
up there.
I mean,
Quick, pick
is there a
Rick.
reason not to?
is there until you can tell me why we shouldn't have Rick on the grip 6, 7 picks?
I can tell you why we shouldn't have Paul Macbeth.
Ooh,
Because of that
Why?
dang old chip.
because you picked.
No. Well, for
Klein.
one, he's on my fantasy team, so that's a pretty good indicator. But I was looking up his stats since Belton.
Uh-oh.
Guess how many podium finishes Paul Macbeth has? Belton was at the end of March 18th to March
2.
20th. One.
Oh,
He has one podium finish. He finished
Wow.
second at Jonesboro. But other than that, it was 8th, 9th, 51st, 7th, 19th, 5th, 14th, 9th.
solid.
So
So he's due. So Paul Macbeth.
he's well overdue at this point. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah.
Washed. Oh, that's great.
The other name that you had mentioned was Chris Dickerson. Do we like that? That's
Sure.
at least the next highest rated
Yeah.
player in terms of
I like
I'll say.
Matt Oram coming off a big
Matty O.
tier win.
A-tier win. Yeah.
Charlie Vettner. Is that how you say it?
Vettner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Charlie Vettner.
Simon Gannon's been having a great season. Do we want to go with the defending champ, Kyle Klein?
I would put, I mean, it's hard not to put Simon in there after his last couple weeks. Wouldn't you say?
So I would, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then on FPO
I
side,
think he's doing well.
All right. So we've got Rick
Still on my team.
Prius and Simon.
yep.
FPO side. Chris Clements.
Chris.
Let's see. FPO side. Paige, Katrina, Owen has been pretty
Owen has been solid.
consistent. Haley, Val, Missy.
Goodness. So hard.
Dude,
We're never going to win a belt.
Gosh.
Who are we thinking?
Man.
Can we go with
Katrina.
Paige? Highest rated player there, defending champion Paige and Katrina.
That makes sense. I know. It's what the heck? As viewers, how are we still alive right now?
Yeah, I think you got to take out either a Paige or a Katrina, and we got to kind of guess who the I don't know, dark horse is going to be.
Right.
Yeah, for real.
I think that's our best bet to win a belt.
Yes.
Is to get like 5 of the top rated players and then one dark horse that's going to pop off.
It's just going to like
And we can't keep using Val as our dark horse because she's not a dark horse
not anymore. No.
Yeah, right. So
So what, like Val and yeah.
I'm leaving it up to you guys.
Oh man.
You get first dibs on the belt if we win it.
Oh, in that case, let's look at this list.
Let me
little
call in a couple of
closer.
favors.
Yes. Yes.
Does Owen count as a dark horse?
No.
For some reason, I feel like people wouldn't be picking Owen. I feel like people would just like Paige, Katrina, oh Haley, oh Val, oh Missy.
The two that names that kind of pop off right now to me are Macy Valadiaz and Maria Oliva. Either one of them could pop off and have a good
Let's
week.
go with Maria.
that's true.
She just had a good week.
She did.
She did.
Let's do that.
I like it.
I like that. Do we need
Okey-dokey.
okay, so our total strokes under par.
3.
Tough. Listen,
I think that's a
We're not even going to be a tiebreaker. We're not even going to need this.
through the first hole, 3.
3.
Right.
So 3 rounds.
So let's see. Last year, Kyle was 25.
25.
Kyle, for the record, he tied Andrew Marweed at 25.
Yes, he did.
Kevin Jones was 24. That was
Paige
Do you
Pierce.
remember that? That was almost a
25.
3-way.
And
One
I do remember
was
that.
Paige.
1?
Paige was 1 under par.
Oh my goodness.
So the total
Told
last
you,
year was
tough
26. I think there's been a couple minor changes to the course.
So do we just go like 30?
30, I like that. You good with that, AJ?
Yeah.
30?
Yeah.
Okay.
30 it is.
So those are the winning 6. Please pick 5 of the same plus.
If you're listening to
someone
this, go ahead and pick horrible picks so we can at least have an
else.
opportunity.
Right. Let us finish in like the top 500 maybe.
That'd be great.
Kind of cool.
That'd be
That's a win for us.
If all of
If
our
we do,
listeners-
I'll bring in a Grip 6 belt and we can share it.
There we go. If all of our listeners were the only people that competed in the
competed?
Grip 6 picks,
Oh,
I would like our chances.
yeah.
If we also got all of them to purposely pick bad picks.
Yeah,
I think we could do it then.
I agree.
Unfortunately, there's other people that for some reason don't listen to the show.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, if the people doing the pick 6 were just listeners of our show,
Mm-hmm.
then one of us needs to do better advertising.
Or those people
a good
need to share
point.
the belt with us. Whoever wins it every week,
I want our viewers to lose.
help us out just once.
Just one
That's
time.
all we ask.
That's-
1 week, and then
Give
you
us
guys,
1 week.
Yeah, you guys can split the belts forever.
Here's something real quick that I was just thinking when we were making our picks, and you mentioned the under par. I was
Mhm.
thinking about this last weekend at USWDGC. Haley won with 30 under par. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
Mhm.
What did you guys think about that? That was a little different change of pace to have those kind of scores at an elite level event for
I think,
the FPO.
yeah, over 4 rounds too, though. I mean, that definitely helped with that. And as I mentioned, I think we talked about a little bit that I said that every hole was birdied. One of the days.
Yeah, that first course.
Yeah, the first course was definitely, you got to bring your putter game because every hole was, second day there was a 359-foot par 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw that on UDisc.
Yeah, but it was through the woods, so it could.
Okay.
I mean, it was legit. I don't think
Yeah.
a whole lot of people got eagles on it, so it was just an easy par 4 is what it was.
Sure.
Which I don't know. I'm fine with it.
I thought that those 2 courses, that style and the par, I thought it made things really interesting.
Agreed.
It was really cool to see, like, even into the last day, just how many people were within 10 strokes of the lead, and
Yeah, that's
Just
what
the-
I care about
the
more than
movement,
anything.
yeah.
Because I love the way that golf scores,
Mm-hmm.
where like you can win a PGA Tour event at 10 under par. I love that because
Sure.
to me, par should be a good score. Like par should be what you get, and you should earn your birdies. And eagles should be like unbelievable.
But they should still happen.
They should still happen, right? But I just started feeling like an old man yelling at clouds about that because like it's never going to change, right? Disc golf is just going to score lower because the game itself is just easier. So there's
Sure.
going to be more birdies and eagles and
Well,
things
think
like
about
that.
back in the day, everything was par 3.
Right.
Literally every hole was a par 3.
Right. Yeah. So I think the more people that are in contention and close to the lead, whether that score is 15 over par or 15 under par,
I agree with that 100%.
that's the relevant thing for me.
I don't care how far under you are. If you guys are tied, if it's a good show,
Right.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I totally
I like
agree.
to see the players play well. And if that's a really hard course and playing well is bogey golf, great. Or if
At
it's,
the end of the day, par's irrelevant.
yeah, right.
So-
Whoever shoots the least amount of strokes wins.
So it was more so the style of the course, like the length of the holes and the difficulty of those of the terrain that kind of felt like it was riveting action this weekend.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an easy course. Based off of everything
yeah,
that they've played, that course was cake, right? In comparison to the Preserve, comparison
Right.
to
Sure.
Portland, DynamicDiscs Open. I mean, those courses are so like mentally grueling as we're out there. They can relax a little bit more. They can go out and have birdies, you know, and not kill themselves doing it. So I think having that somewhere in the mix is very beneficial for the players.
Cool. Yeah.
It's a whole different mental challenge, you know, being able to go out and know, hey, I gotta get these birdies.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a sprint.
Yeah.
Some tournaments tournaments feel like marathons and some feel like sprints.
And some of them feel like marathon sprints.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's
You're just
true.
sprinting a marathon then?
The whole time.
Those are the ones that I prefer.
That's USDGC.
Yeah. And I think
100%.
that's kind of what this USWDGC was. It's like,
I
okay,
agree.
you're sprinting the whole time, but come Sunday, after we've been sprinting for 3 days, who's going to continue to sprint? And yeah, so I think that's what we got. And that's what I really enjoyed about this major event. So yeah, just trying to recognize like what the things about the viewing experience that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Cause I think we've got a lot as a sport, we've got a lot going on right now. And there's a lot of potential to really just turn this whole thing into just, you know, endless people's lifestyles is just disc golf. And so this was a great step forward towards that this past weekend.
Agreed.
And so I think
we'll see it in the future. Time will tell.
Yeah. Yep. I'm here for it. And this weekend coming up, I think is going to be another one of those opportunities. We're almost in like the crunch time of the season. I think some people are going to go to Europe. Some people are going to stay here, and then they're going to come back. And when they come back,
it's go time.
It's go time. Yeah. It's like there's one.
Yeah. Everybody's eyeballs on Worlds. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And they gotta keep their eyeballs on Worlds so their game stays ready for Worlds. And at the same time, they still have to get through D-Glow. They still have to get through Ledgestone. They still have to get through Des Moines. And then they come here. And that's if they decide I'm set on Mid-America. I've got my Silver Series taken care of for the year. I'm good. And then also I think there's another and then there's a Kansas City Wide Open right before Worlds that a lot of people are going to be playing.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a Silver Series.
It's not.
No, it's
just
not.
an A tier.
But it's just like get ready.
Yep. Get ready for episode 32.
Find your seatbelt. Find your buckle. You don't have to clip it in just yet, but just make sure you know where it is because things are going to get
it ready.
Ejection.
Oh no, none of that.
All right, that is all the time we have for episode 31 of Understable Minds. Eric, AJ, thank you for joining me. Danny, thank you for doing everything behind the scenes. Listeners, viewers, thank you for listening / viewing. We will see you all next week after Idlewild for episode 32.
Oh boy. Bye.
This is how people wave, right?
This is how people wave in the future.